An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night and leave you.
Hey people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here, and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a very interesting conversation. As always, this is a conversation like I always want, like especially us women, to have. So this TikToker came online to talk about how having an education as a woman, as a stay-at-home wife, as a stay-at-home girlfriend, as a woman generally is very important. That having a form of education, having an education gives you, is almost like a trampoline that helps you to bounce back even in dark times. She wanted to talk about how you can either fall in a hard floor or a trampoline, so choose where you fall in. She was talking about how people, some women, especially the stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home girlfriend, they just put the entire hope on their partner and things can easily go left. How are you going to support yourself? That having an education just helps you know for sure that you can be on your own, you can provide for yourself and stay by yourself. And this conversation is very interesting because we know a lot of women in my society that are in marriages and relationships because they cannot provide for themselves. Okay? Anyway, guys, let's go hear what this woman have to say and people stitch on this. Then we'll come back and talk more. But please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. So let's go check the video out.
An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night and leave you. I think there's a lot of discourse on this app right now about being a stay-at-home girlfriend, being a trad wife, you know, not having to suffer the intensity of girl bossing during late stage capitalism. And girl, too, I get you. But in all seriousness, if you are a young girl or a young woman on this app aspiring to that lifestyle, I'm not going to judge you. I don't want to say anything, but people can change their mind at any moment. Somebody can get up in the middle of the night, leave you with nothing, and if you don't have an education, it's going to be a lot harder for you. This is harsh facts. It will be a lot harder for you to survive on your own if you've been relying on somebody else for this long. An education, especially higher education, is never going to leave you. It is something you can always take with you, and it is one of those very rare things in life that are like a trampoline. There are so many things in life that are like a hardwood floor, right? You fall, you're gonna break your neck, you're going to come back with some ailments, but you'll bounce back, you'll be fine. It might be difficult, it might take some time, but you'll be okay. An education is a trampoline. Injuries aside, if you just fall back, you will most likely jump back up. Might be a little wobbly, might be hard to get into the rhythm again, but you will get back up. Please, if you are a young girl, pursue education. No one can take it away from you. An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night and leave you. I think there's a lot of
I agree with this creator, but I want to give some context that I give young women or my mentees. As a woman who did this exact thing, I went to professional school and became a doctor for this exact reason. As a millennial, it was drilled into our heads, go to school, get an education, blah, 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 and that's what we all did. However, the costs of higher education have ballooned and have skyrocketed. So while many women initially pursued higher education to not feel trapped in a marriage, they are now trapped in a financial situation where they are riddled with debt and have a degree that maybe is not in a lucrative field or doesn't necessarily lead to a lucrative job. While education is important, I want young women to think about how much is that degree going to cost and how much does that degree have the potential to make you? Is it going to provide financial freedom or is it just going to trap you in a different type of situation? Many jobs don't require master's degrees and many jobs don't require MBAs. And the ones that do, can you find a way to get those degrees paid for? Can you do scholarships, stipends, work study even? Like how can you pursue higher education and not saddle yourself with a ton of debt? This is a harsh reality, but this is a conversation many women my age are having that I wish someone would talk to younger women about so they could think a little bit more critically about pursuing higher education. So what I chose to do is become an optometrist. This is a profession where I can work part-time as a doctor and make a comfortable enough living while still pursuing my entrepreneurship goals. So this was the perfect flexible career for me. But I know women who are not in that same situation. Before you over-index on education, I want you to stop and think about money. How much money is this degree going to cost? How much money can it make you? And do those two numbers make sense and make you feel like you'll have options and choices in your marriage, or will you be stuck in a different way?
An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night and leave you. I think there's a lot of
I am so glad that this creator came on here. Sorry, I don't want you guys to see my messy closet. But I'm so glad that this creator came on here and started talking about that, because I saw a TikTok the other day where it was like, oh, I just realized that we're not going to have doctors and mechanics. We're going to have lash techs or like things like that. And I think it's very important to emphasize not only education or higher education. Like, I'm not telling you that you're not valuable as a person if you don't have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or what's it called, a PhD. Like, I'm not telling you that, but or I don't think that creator is trying to tell you that either. I think it's the sense of being able to hold down your own, or to have enough independence as to where you can do it on your own, in the sense do life on your own. You know, you can pay your rent, you can pay your car, you can pay, because life is expensive and we all know that. Like, look at the cost of living. Hello. And I think what's going on now, you know, you're seeing it happen where, you know, AI is taking over. Like, haven't we all noticed that there's no jobs anymore at checkout? There's rarely ever people or sales associates trying to help you. It's just self checkout or the machine that scans everything and you can just walk out. And if you haven't realized the changes and how it's evolved, then I think it's time that we really start doing our research. And one of the best things I ever did, and I feel the need to share, is I all throughout college and all throughout high school, I always worked. And that's not to like boast or to, you know, toot my own horn, like, okay, queen, go off. Like, I'm not telling you to drown yourself in hustle culture, because I also don't think that's healthy. And, you know, you start to lose your, you know, your emotions and your mental health. Like, I'm an advocate for mental health, but I also am an advocate for honing in and making sure that you have skill sets that will be useful to the working force, or useful for you, that you can use and adapt and be flexible when looking for a job, or when making yourself look more competitive as an applicant. And I think, you know, one of the best things I've done for myself is work as a nanny. Like, I see so many young girls now, you know, starting families, and sometimes I feel like every 10 years it changes. You know, people have families when they're older, or like, you know, I feel like the societal norm was to, you know, go to school, after school, get a good career, a 9 to 5 stability, and then, you know, marry your college or high school sweetheart, and then have 2 kids, settle down, la la la. But I don't think people really truly see what goes on behind the scenes. So you're watching all of these things on TikTok, on Instagram and on YouTube, but it's not real. Coming from somebody like I was, you know, a nanny, and I've seen it from people that are extremely wealthy or middle class. It doesn't matter. Like, raising a child is a lot of commitment and a lot of responsibility. And it's very eye-opening now that a lot of people are starting to realize, like, children are not toys, you know, they're blessings, they're full-on human beings. So I think it's scary that, you know, this generation is just basically having kids for clout. And I have no issue saying that. Like, you're literally putting children on this earth to make profit out of them, because now what's happening with, like I said in the previous review of the Jay Shetty podcast with that therapist, people, it's like romantic consumerism. People are literally just looking for a perfect person or someone with qualities. It's like checking boxes, and it's like we're missing that connection with humanity, granted because of the pandemic. But I think it's so important to, one, take accountability and not allow yourself to fall into this like rat race or this loophole, and just realize, like, dude, like, you need to have your own skill sets. You need to learn another language to make yourself more competitive. You need to have a certificate. Like, I can't tell you, like, I have a whole bachelor's degree in biology, and I've gotten more job opportunities by owning my own nannying business and by having my PTCB, which is a certification for a pharmacy technician. I can't tell you how many jobs, like older, you know, adult jobs, have hired me. Sorry, I just got a text message. Have hired me because of my certifications, not my degree. Like, how many recruiters have told me, hey, you know, I'm glad that you have the degree. It helps. It gets you a minimum of, you know, $25 or $30, but what experience do you have? So I guess, sorry, I kind of went around in a circle, but my takeaway from this is I would really like dip my toe in every water. And if you can, be a nanny, because then you will see those women, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no shame if there's people that thrive at being a stay-at-home mom, and it's one of the hardest jobs, if not the hardest job, because not only are you maintaining your own sanity and your own life, you're maintaining your child's life, you're maintaining your husband's life, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're constantly doing something, and it's hard, you know, like nobody wants to come home to a messy house. Like, your house is your state of mind. So I think there's a lot of things that are hidden because social media wants to glamorize life, and it's not real. Like, nothing you see on this app is real, honestly, or Instagram. Everything's a facade. It's all fake. Nobody's gonna post, and if they do post, it's for, like I said, for clout or for attention. But I think what this creator said should really start to click on a lot of people's head and wake people up. Like, you need to have skill sets so that you can be a fully functional and reliable human being on your own, whether you're, you know, a female, a male, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you need to be fully functional and fully equipped to take on what is now the world on your own.
An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night and leave.
Okay, had to hop on here and such just because I have been in college for what feels like forever, because I am taking 2 or 3 classes a semester. I am very happy in my marriage, but my very best friend in the world, her dad is a divorce attorney. And he always will tell us, like, how they are when they get divorced, they don't have an education. So I guess I'm here to say, even if you're taking 2 or 3 classes because that's all you can afford, or that's all you have time for, you're still going for it. Still go. Honestly, sometimes I do feel shame that I am still in college at 29, but I'm never going to give up on myself. That is who is never going to give up on me and my goals.
An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night and leave you. I think there's a lot of...
So let me just say this. If you want, I'm not in support of being a stay-at-home girlfriend, but if you really want to be a stay-at-home girlfriend, then try to get a PhD or something. So if something happens, you know, like, you have some type of education to fall back on. Why are you being a stay-at-home girlfriend and not contributing to your 401k? You don't have, except you have some type of retirement plan. But if you're unemployed and being a stay-at-home girlfriend, you better be having some money out aside. Open a Roth IRA, open something, have some type of investments. But just being a stay-at-home girlfriend, especially in your 20s, are you okay? Are y'all okay? Your mom and your grandmoms and your great-grandmoms enough fight for you to have a bank account and be able to get a job in America for you to be a stay-at-home girlfriend. Go find something to do. It's 2024.
An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night.
Okay, but can we for real talk about this? So a lot of you know I have been very involved in the Miss America organization since I was 19, and I'm 28 now. And I cannot tell you how many times I used to get like so many dirty looks like, oh, you're 28 and still doing pageants. But a big reason why I was still competing is I really wanted to be the first one in my family to get my master's degree. In my years competing, I've been awarded over around $7,000 in scholarships, which has even paid off my private loan in full, which is just I'm so extremely grateful to have that. What I also loved about the Miss America organization, I was able to be a leader in my community, and I think those skills that I learned in my years competing really helped mold me into the woman that I am today. And I think what we're seeing trends with this generation is a lot of young girls don't want to step up and be leaders, and I think that is a problem. I definitely notice I feel a lot of younger girls really want to focus on fitting in, and to me, I think it's more important to stand out, and I truly believe your education sets you up for that.
An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night and leave you.
I am a stay-at-home mom to 4 kids ages 5 and under, and I was married relevantly young. I could not agree with this statement more if I tried. I think it is so simple for people to come on this app and tell you they just want to be stay-at-home parents, they just want to be stay-at-home girlfriends, without realizing that every year that you choose to stay at home taking care of someone or taking care of someone's kids, that is a year taking away from your experience in the workforce. I married an incredible man. I am 100% sure no matter what happens, my husband will take care of my kids and our family. However, people tend to forget that shit happens that are even outside of your power. God forbid something happens and my husband can no longer take care of my family. I have the experience, the degrees to get a job and take care of my kids. No one can take away all the certificates I work on as a stay-at-home mom. No one can take away all the time that I put in to make sure that I still stay in contact with my old bosses should I ever need a reference. No one can take away the experience that I put in, even as I take care of my kids, to make sure that I am always relevant to the workforce. As incredible as it is to choose to be a stay-at-home mom, you still have to realize that you are indeed giving up your work experience to be a stay-at-home parent. You have to realize that it is indeed a sacrifice, and it is going to hurt you in the future when you want to go back in the workforce. When you are making these decisions to be a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home girlfriend, a stay-at-home mom, please make sure that you are doing things for yourself that guarantees that you can still earn an income shall anything ever happen. And I am not just referring to having money saved up. I'm referring to having some type of talent, some type of experience that you can nurture while you stay at home to make sure that you are investing in yourself. Maybe that looks like taking extra classes so you keep getting different certificates, different degrees. Whatever it is, invest in yourself. Make sure that your time at home is not just taking care of someone else's needs, advancing their career, but you are also investing in yourself, your needs, and your career. Because trust me when I tell you, you cannot just leave your entire future in someone else's hand. No matter how much you love them, how much you trust them, no matter how much you know that they'll take care of you, you have to be able to take care of yourself. In fact, there's a power in knowing that I can indeed take care of myself no matter what.
An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night and leave you.
Neither will a bank account, a credit card, a vehicle, or a home with your name on it. This creator really articulated a point that I haven't seen covered enough on this topic of trad wives, and that is really women having a backup plan for themselves. Having a way to autonomously take care of yourself is so critically important. And my grandmother, only one generation away from me, was a trad wife. I'm talking living on 80 acres in southern Appalachia with no running water and no indoor plumbing till like the mid 60s, and making your own clothes and growing your own food. 100% trad wife all the way. Fast forward, trigger warning for this story. Fast forward, my grandfather took his own life in that home, leaving my grandmother to deal with a horrific emotional, psychological, spiritual, physical mess. And to add insult to injury, this man never allowed her to have her name on a single thing. She was not on the bank account. She had no access to any of their credit accounts. No name on the deed, no name on the property. And so when he passed, she was essentially starting at zero and then having to fight a legal battle with the state for her access to her assets. So if you are going to go down this road and you decide you really just want to live this lifestyle, celebrate you, do you. But please, I implore you to please make sure that your name, that you have things in legal documents that are assets and money and access to things so that you can take care of yourself. Make sure you do this, because you don't want to be starting over in your 60s with an ID and nothing else. Like, that is terrifying. And had she not had children to come and take care of her, my grandmother, she wouldn't have made it through that. And I could make about 10 other videos around the generational trauma that I have experienced and am still dealing with because of being in that lineage of that trad wife. So that's a story for another day, another video.
An education is never going to get up in the middle of the night and leave you. I think there's a lot of...
Oh, she's right. I just woke up and saw that, but it's really true. And it is harmful to like be saying all this like, mob life aesthetic, rockstar GF, this, that. It's funny and like in light fun, but get your degree, get your bag, learn a skill. This doesn't mean education as in like necessarily going to a college, but like learn applicable skills. And yeah, it's not cool to just be somebody's like partner or trophy wife, you know, like be your own boss.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about this down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So go ahead and share your thoughts. Do you think that women should always have a backup plan, have a degree of some sort, so that they can protect themselves and be able to live on their own with or without a man. Anyway, go down and share your thought. Love to know what you think, but keep it respectful, okay? So here's my thought on this. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know where I stand on this already. I'm one of those women that I strongly believe that as a woman, have your own, get an education. I personally, like the traditional education, like going to college, uni, now it's kind of iffy and all that, but get some type of education. Can be learning a skills, doing a course, but have a form of education to help you. And like the original creator said, it's almost like a trampoline. It helps you to bounce back when the downtimes come. And I see a lot of women in my society that, even though some of them even have education, they have their BSc, they have their diploma. Like I personally have a BSc. They literally just have the BSc and it's just almost like a trophy. They've never worked one day in their life. They've never learned a skill one day in their life. And we've seen cases like the other lady that was talking about how our grandfather left our grandmom with nothing. We've seen cases in my society where a man died and the wife starts from zero with the children because this man will not leave anything in her name, nothing for the children. There's no backup because this man literally feel like he was going to live forever. Yeah. And then maybe the banks, the government will just step on all his wealth. This is what I'm talking about, wealthy men, men that has money. Their money just goes like that. And the woman from being the trophy wife, the housewife and all that just went back to zero doing all the hustle. Like don't even know how to find her feet because she has been, protected. She has been indoors doing nothing for a long time and she doesn't know where to start from. So one thing I'll tell a woman, any woman, being you're single, you're married, you're always look out for yourself. Like I've said this thing before where I said, I don't understand how you will put your life in the hands of another person to look after your life, to take care of your life, for another person to show up for your life while you have not done that for yourself. How can you trust another person, aka maybe husband, partner, to show up for you 100% and don't let you down, but you are not able to show up for yourself so that you can have your back, take care of you, yourself, and not let yourself down? For me, that is weird, like weird. So I advise you get any form of education, learn a skill, learn a language, like just do something that is going to be able to support you financially. Like the first lady that stitched it, I was talking about how you always calculate, because sometimes it's not all about just having an education, which like I said, most women in my society, they have an education, but the education is not doing nothing for them. So it's always calculating, like this education, this course I want to do, is it going to be beneficial to me? Because some women just had to go learn courses, especially in my society, that do nothing for them. They can never apply for jobs with it. They will never work with it. They just went to school so that they will say, I went to school, I have a BSc and all that. So always calculate the more, because the times has changed compared to where we millennials went to school and growing up. Most of these jobs now, AI is taking over, technology is taking over, but always ask yourself, how can you position yourself to do better? What skill do I have to learn that is going to push me, that's going to give me that, catapult me, that's going to protect me if I'm being dropped? I won't be dropped on a hard floor, I'll be dropped in a trampoline. It's always look your environment. Do something that adds value to people. Do something that the society needs. Like the other lady was talking about being a nanny. Most people will not even think of it. Most were like, nanny. Especially if you know you're good with children, why not? But always have a skill. And I agree with that same woman that talked about how having a degree, she has never really used the degree. Like I personally, I had a degree in mass communication, but my last job, I was like admin, HR. So, yeah, I just feel women, learn how to protect yourself, learn how to look out for yourself, get a job, get a skill. It is needed. It is very important for you to do that. Okay, so please do that. That's my own personal opinion. So let me know your own thought down in the comment section. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful, okay? Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people like me and you to see this video and join in the conversation. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and that will also help you supporting this channel and supporting your girl. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.